Everyone, so in this video we're going to talk about tetracyclines. Tetracyclines are a group of antibiotic drugs. In the 1950s there was a widespread use of tetracyclines, and later on many members of tetracyclines were introduced. But as per now, the clinically relevant ones are tetracycline, oxytetracycline, demiclocycline, doxycycline and minocycline. Now coming to the mechanism of action, before knowing that we have to get an idea about what is a ribosome. So ribosomes are organelles in a cell which help in protein synthesis. So this is a rough diagram of ribosome in a bacterial cell. It has a 50A subunit and a 30A subunit. Let's know a few points about how protein synthesis occurs. So here is a picture of bacterial protein synthesis, Tripathi pharmacology textbook. You can see here the 50A subunit and 30A subunit of the ribosome. So the mRNA comes and attaches to the 30S ribosome. On the 30S there are two sites, A site and P site. A site is called the acceptor site, P is the peptidyl site. So the nascent peptide chain, it comes and attaches to the P site, and then the tRNA brings a new amino acid. You could see the new amino acid binding to the A site. Later on, the nascent peptide is transferred to the newly attached amino acid by peptide bond formation. This elongated chain, this whole elongated chain, the nascent peptide and the new amino acid, it is again shifted back to the P site, and the ribosome moves along the mRNA to expose the next codon for amino acid attachment. Rough idea of how protein synthesis occurs. Let's talk about mechanism of action. So tetracyclines are bacteriostatic, which means they don't kill the organism, they only inhibit the growth or reproduction of the organism. So how do they do this is by inhibiting the protein synthesis. They inhibit the protein synthesis by binding to the 30S ribosome. So we have talked about 30S, right? So tetracyclines come and bind to the 30S ribosome. Tetracyclines, they bind to the 30S ribosome, and the subsequent attachment of amino site at the A site is blocked. This gets blocked. As a result, the peptide chain formation fails to happen. You may get a doubt that why don't these tetracyclines act on our body cells? That's because the carrier which is involved in transportation of the tetracyclines into the cell, that is not present in human bodies. And also the protein synthesis in the human body cells, it's a very complex process, and the tetracyclines cannot inhibit. Now let us see how these bacterial cells develop resistance towards the tetracyclines. So the bacterial cells develop resistance by mainly two mechanisms. First is the efficient pump out mechanism by which they pump out the tetracyclines from their cells. Other is the protection proteins. They synthesize certain proteins called protection proteins which prevent the binding of the tetracyclines to the ribosomes. And apart from this, there occurs incomplete cross resistance between different members of tetracyclines also. Now let us talk about pharmacokinetics. The older tetracyclines, they were better if taken in empty stomach. But the doxycycline and the minocycline, they are completely absorbed irrespective of food. One more important property of tetracyclines is they have a chelating property, which means they form insoluble and unabsorbable complexes with calcium and other metals, because of which they accumulate in teeth and bones also. Now talking about excretion of these tetracyclines, they are mainly excreted by glomerular filtration. Doxycycline is an exception to this. It is secreted in bile and excreted by that. And one more important thing is they are secreted in milk in amount sufficient to affect the suckling infant. Enzyme inducers like phenobarbital, carbamazepine, phenytoin, they all hasten the metabolism and shorten the T-half of doxycycline. Now let us see how they are administered. Oral capsule is the dosage form in which tetracyclines are administered most commonly. The capsule should be taken half an hour before the food or 2 hours after taking the food. Liquid oral preparations, they are banned in India for pediatric use, and they should never be given intramuscularly because it is painful. Slow intravenous injection may be given, but it's rarely required now. Doxycycline 100 milligrams once or twice a day is the most common use of tetracycline. Let's talk about the adverse effects. So there is a mnemonic for the adverse effects of tetracyclines, which goes by the name Kapil Dev, a very famous cricketer. K is for kidney failure, A is for anti-anabolic, P is for phototoxic, I is for diabetes insipidus. Demiclocycline has the highest rate of phototoxicity and diabetes insipidus. And L is for liver failure, D is for dentition and bone. I told you they form complexes in the bones. E is for expiry date, so they should never be given after the expiry date, because they cause a syndrome called Fanconi syndrome. It's a reversible syndrome. Next, V is for vestibular dysfunction. Minocycline has the highest risk of vestibular dysfunction. Let's talk about uses of these tetracyclines. So tetracycline uses, for this also there's a mnemonic which goes by Sri Lanka. S is for SIADH. You know, SIADH means syndrome of inappropriate antidiuretic hormone secretion, in which the body makes too much of antidiuretic hormone. Next, R is for rickettsia. Actually, the tetracyclines are drug of choice in rickettsia. I is for granuloma inguinale. L is for LGV. It means lymphogranuloma venerum. It is a sexually transmitted bacterial infection. A is for ANN is for atypical pneumonia. K is for cholera, and L is for luminal amoebiasis. Here, I know K doesn't match with cholera, but it's easy to remember this way. Now let's talk about precautions of tetracyclines. They should not be used during pregnancy, lactation, or in children, and they should be avoided in patients on diuretics, because in these patients blood urea may rise in such patients. They should be cautiously used in renal failure and hepatic failure patients, and preparations should never be used beyond the expiry date, and they should not be mixed with others like penicillin, because inactivation occurs, and they should not be injected in intramuscular or intrathecally. Intrathecal matlab it's a space present between the pia meter and the auricnite matter of the spinal cord. About tetracyclines. Hope you have understood.